Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Half in 10 webinar. The topic today is Stories Behind the Statistics, What the 2009 Poverty and Income Data Mean for Your Community. I'd like to start this off by handing the floor over to your moderator today, which is Deborah Weinstein, who is the Executive Director of the Coalition on Human Needs. Deborah, if you're there, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, and hello. Welcome to Half in 10's webinar, Stories Behind the Statistics. And the statistics we're referring to, of course, are about poverty in America. Last week we learned that more than 43 million Americans were poor in 2009, the highest proportion in 15 years. We at the Coalition on Human Needs have called this level of poverty a state of emergency, and the best way to instill that sense in our elected officials is to increase their and our understanding of what it means in America today to be poor and what we can do about it. And that's why we're here today and why we're fortunate to be able to listen to a group of powerful speakers. I'll introduce all of them first, and then we'll go ahead. And Senator Chris Dodd of Connecticut is a leader in the Senate on many fronts. He's best known now for chairing the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee and shepherding through the groundbreaking financial reform and consumer protection bill. But we also know him for years as a leader for children, sponsoring legislation to increase families' access to safe and affordable child care as one landmark example. Senator Dodd is so concerned about poverty among children that he has made time to be with us today, even though he's rushing from one place to another. Next, we'll have Harry Holzer, who is professor of public policy at Georgetown University, a visiting fellow at the Urban Institute here in Washington. He's a former chief economist, U.S. Department of Labor, a stellar labor economist, and author of Half in 10's and the Center for American Progress's new report, Pennywise, Pound Foolish, Why Tackling Child Poverty During the Great Recession Makes Economic Sense. And that does include data from last week's report. The next speaker will be Angela Sutton. Angela is a mother from Philadelphia who has worked for the past 2 years as a photographer and advocate as part of Witnesses to Hunger. The 40 or so mothers who make up Witnesses have documented their lives as low-income parents struggling with fierce determination to give their children what they need to grow and thrive. I have had the pleasure of meeting with them and seeing their exhibit of photographs on Capitol Hill, many other places. So that's Angela. Next, we'll have Robert Miller, who is Director of Books at the Internet Archive, a global book digitization project with staff in 24 locations in 6 countries and over 200 library partners. Prior to the archive, Robert co-founded 5 consumer startup companies, preceded by rising to senior management in 2 Fortune 500 companies. And he will tell us about his business's experience in hiring workers through the TANF Emergency Fund. And our final speaker will be Melissa Boteach, manager of the Half in 10 campaign. Half in 10 is a joint project of the Center for American Progress and Action Fund, the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights, and the Coalition on Human Needs. She's a passionate and effective advocate. Prior to coming to Half in 10, she was Poverty Campaign Coordinator at the Jewish Council for Public Affairs. We'll give Harry, Angela, and Robert the chance to answer questions from you after all 3 have spoken. And then Melissa will present about vital policy solutions. We apologize, Senator Dodd, I believe, is not able to remain to answer questions. Everyone who registered for this webinar will receive links to the slides, and if you want the slides right now, you can get them on the icon in the upper right that looks like sheet of paper.
Hello, everyone.
Also, there will be a survey at the end. Please stick around to answer. So right now, we are truly delighted and honored that Senator Dodd can join us.
Well, thank you, Debbie, very, very much. And let me thank all of the people involved in today's events. You gave a very nice introduction. I appreciate that very much. And work over the years. You've got some wonderful speakers today who have forgotten more about the subject matter than most of us will ever know. So I'm delighted to be a part of it and glad to have been able to make some contributions over the year in this common effort that people like those who are engaged in today's gathering have been involved in for so many years. And as you, I don't know if you pointed out or not, but I'm sort of a short timer here now, having made the decision to retire from Congress come January. So I want to utilize the time I've got left. We've got some major issues coming up in the next few weeks in the lame duck session, and then I don't intend to just disappear. So I hope you'll call on me after I've lost the title of senator and utilize me in any way you can find helpful to pursue this cause, because it's one of I care passionately about. Was involved in it even before, to some degree, before I was elected to Congress, and then over the last 36 years, particularly the last 30 in the Senate, have made it some of the most joyful work I've been involved in. The stuff I care the most about, care most passionately about. I got involved